Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Ifkipondo, and in this video I'm going to talk about the resource or content which you will need to prepare the RHCSA exam. So if you are studying for that exam and you are looking for content or advice on studying material which you used for that exam, in this video, I'm going to talk about all resources or all material which I use to prepare for that exam, as I just got it recently, and I wanted to share all content or all resources which I use, going from books or video or other content material which I use. The first point which I would like to talk about, it will be about the main reason why I took this certification. Few months ago, I was working as a system administrator, and as part of my job, I was managing multiple Linux servers, particularly VMs. And recently, as I'm not working as a system administrator, I wanted to get a certification which I can use as a proof of my knowledge of Linux or managing Linux computers. So I decided to search for different certifications which I can find online, and one of the most certification which fits on my needs, as I wanted to get a certification which is most practical, not many theory, I chose the RHCSE as it's a performance-based certification. That certification is completely practical, so you will have to practice or to configure server which will be provided to you, and you won't have to return anything. You just have to practice or configure all server which will be used to you based on different questions which will be provided to the exam. The second point which I would like to talk about, it will be related to the topic of today, which is the resource or content which you can use to study for that exam. There is different content which you can find online, and the first resource which you can use is the objective page, where you can find all objective or all material on which you have to practice to be ready for that exam. So I will start by showing you that page so you can see all objective of that exam. As you can see on my screen, I'm on the main page of the certification, and if you are looking to check the objective of that exam, you will have to go on the exam section. So after you are on that exam section, you can choose the first link which will bring you directly to the page where you can find objective of that certification. So I went on that page, and here you have some information which you can read about the exam itself, and the most important section is the objective page, which you can go through by clicking on this tab, and here you will find all objective of that exam. There are many objectives, and each objective cover a specific topic. So if you are studying for that, you can look to on this page and you will went through each objective, and after practicing you can be ready for that exam. I've already recorded some videos on different objectives, and I'm currently continue recording other video around other objectives. If you would like to learn about that objective, you can check my channel where you can find different video about different topics. The second content which I use, which I consider as the most important, will be a book to read to study for that exam. And in my case, I opted for the Cert guide published by a person, written by Sander van Vet, which I'll show you. Here it is. this one. As you can see, this is a very big book, and this book covers all topics around the RHCSA exam. And if you are interested to study for that, you can use this book, which is a printed version. You can get it on Amazon, and you can use it to prepare to study for that exam as well. The third content which I use to prepare for the RHCSA exam will be a already website. So I will go on that website and show you what you can find on that website. Actually, Orally is a website which offers different content, books and video, and sometimes online training. On this website, I find video courses and the ebook version of the book which I just showed you previously. So as you can see on my screen, the book is here, Redhat RHCSA 9, which is the last version of that certification, and you can have access to the same content which is in the book. The only difference between the ebook version and the printed version is the fact that at the end of each book we have there are 2 practice exams. In the printed version there is a exam practice A and B, and in the ebook version there is other 2 exam which is C and D. You can have access to all 2 books. In my case, I didn't want to move everywhere with the printed version, so I want to have access to the electronic version. As I've already a subscription on the Orally website, that was very easy for me to have access to a ebook version. Other content which you can find on Orally is video courses. And the main courses which I will suggest you to watch, it will be the video made by Sander van Vert, the same author of the book which I showed you previously. This is the first course which you can find. There are also other courses on this website which also be published by Sander van Vert, but some of them are very old than the one which I'm showing you actually. So as you can see, there are other content and other courses. Like I said, you can navigate to the website to find what content you like. Apart from that, the other content which I would like to show you is a content related to labs. So this website offers you also a lab which you can use to study or to practice for that exam. So there are different labs around different topics, and each lab is very interesting. You can practice around different topics, and there are different questions to which you will have to answer. Apart from the lab, there is also another part or another section which is completely a challenge, where you have to provide answers, and then there is a validation. So I will show you that website, which is still also on Orally. The one interesting thing about this challenge is the fact that you will have access on one section of your browser to the question, and on the other side you'll have access to the command prompt, where you have to enter or to type all command and all your answer to fulfill question which was asked during that challenges. The other type of content which you can find on Orally, it will be live event, which is a event where you can participate and you will have access to an instructor. And specifically to regarding the RHCSA, there are different live events which was planned. I participated to 2 live events. Each live event have five sessions of 5 hours. I'll go on the live event section. As you can see, there is this live event named Redhat Certified System Administrator Red version 9 crash course. So if I click on that, wait for it to load. So as you can see on the right side, there is a different date where the live session was planned. Actually, I've participated to 2 on them, but there was 3 session. But as I've already passed or participate to 2 of them, I consider it wasn't necessary to participate to the third one also. So if you are studying for this certification, you can register or you can sign up for the next online event, which is planned on February. So next year on February 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this live event will be of 4 days, and each day it will be a session of 5 hours where Sonder will explain you different topics around that certification, what you must know, what you must retain to be ready for that exam. So that is, in my case, that live event was very interesting, and I learned a lot during that live event. Also, another important is the fact that there are different people around the world who are participating to that event. Also, you can ask questions in the chat section, and anyone can answer to those questions. Even if someone asks question and you think you are confident to answer to that question, you can still answer. And if that question, that answer is not correct, Sonder can correct you or can give you some more thought about that answer. That will be all regarding the O'Reilly website. Apart from that, I use for the content, which I'll show you again. Another resource which is important, which as you can see on my screen, is the ACloudGuru website. So this website also provides content around cloud computing and different certification around Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, and Amazon and Microsoft Azure. So if you are interested in studying cloud or passing cloud certification, you can go on that website and you will find different content. In my case, I was looking for content about around RHCSE exam, and on this website I found another great video which related to the same courses. So as you can see, I'll search for that. I'll use RHCSA and press enter. As you can see, there are different content, and there is also a full course of 25 hours. So that is a very long course which you can watch to learn different content around the same objective or the same exam. Actually, this version is a little bit old because it's targeting the Redhat version 8 instead of the latest, which is Redhat version 9. But the content is still interesting. You can still learn new or different topics on that courses. Also, there are another content which was very interesting in my case is the exam challenge lab, which is a 3-hour practice exam which you can use to practice for that exam as well. And during that exam, there was this practice exam, there was many questions which I have to answer to, and also there are a section which is completely related to batch, which was very interesting. So I have to type or to write a bash script, which was very challenging and very interesting, and I learned a lot around that topic. That was all the content which I use to study or content which are related to that exam specifically. Apart from those content which I have just shown you, there are other content which I use. As you can see here, I have several books which are also related to Linux. So when I was studying, if I found one topic which were not clear, or I wanted to go further in that topic or check about content about other certification, I was able to look through all books which you can see here. So I was able to sharpen my knowledge and be able to gain plus knowledge for the certification. But it is not a requirement. The first book which I show you contain all content material which you can use to be ready for that exam. But in my case, I like to use different resources when I learning any topics, and that helped me to get some difference and to see how other learning material cover specific topics. The next point which I would like to talk about is how long you will have to study. Personally, the time which you have to spend to be ready for that exam is completely depend on you. If you have a great background, like in my case, around Linux concept or Linux server, you can study around 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months to be ready. In my case, I start studying for it 3 months ago when I received the book, which are the printed version, and it took me 3 months to be ready for the exam. So for you, I don't know your learning capacity, so it will be completed to you, but you can do that between 1 or 3 months and you will be completely ready to pass that exam. The next topic which I would like to talk about is about the exam itself. So the exam actually is for 3 hours. So for 3 hours, you will have to answer all questions which will given to you and configure all server which will be provided as well. So when you have access to the exam, you will have to do the check of your environment with the proctor. So the proctor will ask you to scan the environment so you can ensure that the place where you are passing the exam is completely safe. In my case, I passed the exam at home, and I had to scan my environment, my working space 2 times. The first one, it was when I started the exam, and the second one was during the exam. I think after 2 hours, the proctor asked me to perform another scan of the environment. The exam is not very difficult if you are ready or if you study well for around all the objectives provided on the website of the exam itself. Also, the proctor is very friendly. If you have questions, you can still ask him. If you are not sure about anything, if you want to have access to some content or to have something on your table, you have just to ask him if it's allowed or not. And if it's not allowed, it will show you. The exam itself is a 3 hour long. So for 3 hours, you will have access to all server which will be given. And after 3 hours, the exam will be completed. And once you completed the exam, you will have to wait for the result. In my case, the result of the exam came the same day. That was very interesting, and I wasn't hoping to get that result the same day as on the website or on some document which I read about that exam. It said that you will get the result around 2 or 3 days after you pass the exam. But in my case, the result came the same day, and it was very interesting. The last point which I would like to talk about, it will be to give you some advice regarding the exam itself. So one important thing before or after you purchase the voucher and before you pass the exam itself, you must check your setup. You must check if your computer will be able to handle or to access the remote exam test. So once you purchase the voucher of the exam, you must download the ISO file to perform the test of the environment. And that ISO, you must put it on a live USB, and you will boot your computer directly from that live USB. In my case, when I tried the first time, I wasn't able to boot because my computer wasn't able to handle that ISO properly. So I had to switch to another computer to perform the test. So that's why I say that you have to perform a test of your environment to be sure everything went smoothly before the exam, and that will avoid you many problems and many mistakes. I would like also to show you the result of the exam which I passed. As you can see on my screen, I got 286 out of 300 at the exam. That is almost 96%. So there are also other people who did 300 out of 300, but in my case, I was just able to get 96%. So if you study well, you can still get 300 out of 300, and that will be very good and very interesting for you, and will be proud for that. In my case, I'm very proud of the result which I get, and it was very interesting. And as you can see, there are different topics which are covered on the exam, and you can see on which topic I didn't score very well, or I get some percentage instead of the whole result. That will be all which I want to talk about within this video. So if you would like to learn more around Linux, or you like this type of content, you can subscribe to my channel and ring the bell notification to be notified whenever I post new content. Also, if you have some idea or some question around the exam, you can still leave a comment and I will check it and give you an answer. So that will be all, and see you in the next video. Thanks.